Meowdy. Welcome to the Dev Chat for today, July 24th, 2019. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Will Hungerford. I'm a lead developer at Privateer Press. This is Oz Big Papa Schoonover, head of development management at Privateer Press.
Those nicknames, they're not very consistent. But yeah.
And
Hi.
Jeff Olson's at the end. He's the playtest coordinator. Yeah. Think for a second.
Firing on all cylinders today.
Yeah.
And we are your development team here at Privateer Press. Welcome. Hello, everyone at Facebook and Twitch. Good to see you all. If you've never watched this before, we stream twice a week at Privateer Press. 10 a.m. Pacific on Wednesdays, Dev Hangouts, what you're watching now, where we talk about things going on with the game. Mm-hmm. Get your paint on Thursdays, same time, 10 a.m. Pacific, where Jordan Lamb paints things and talks to you about hobbying. And then we have two monthly shows, the Staff Showdown and Primecast Live. Staff Showdown, we play games. Primecast Live, we talk to people throughout the community, or, well, sometimes the community, but often the company that you don't normally see, such as writers, artists, and things like that.
Yeah.
So, Oblivion is almost here, because Gen Con is almost here.
Yeah. Gen Con is like in a couple hours, basically.
Basically. Like we walk out of this, and then we walk right into Gen Con.
Yeah.
So
we're in Indianapolis right now, just nobody knows.
We're in cold storage. They just wake us up and make us work the show. Mm-hmm. So Oblivion's almost here. So everyone knows the dynamic update and War Room should all be updating soon. We're aiming for this week before we leave. Obviously, because most of us are not in the office, we'll be flying out to Gen Con. So fingers crossed. All goes well for this Friday, but obviously there's still a lot left to do. There's technical stuff to figure out, so not a guarantee it happens this Friday, but we're going to do everything we can to get it to you as early as we can. And
crossing all my fingers.
And obviously before Gen Con starts, because that's when Oblivion's on sale and everybody will have the rules.
You have a
What are y'all doing?
We're crossing
our fingers.
Good luck.
That's how it works.
Oh, man.
Just keep talking. Just keep talking.
I hate you, and I hate every day with you. But I love all of you out there. So today we're going to talk about a few more themes and spoil a couple more things coming with the big balance update. But first, we must get to the news. Do we have a ticker yet?
Oh my gosh, dude, we should have a ticker.
Do we have a no? Okay, let's do mini crate first. There's a new mini crate model for this month.
There is. It's very exciting.
The Shield Sister of the Order of the Wall. Mm-hmm. I know that our friend Josh will be very, very excited about this model. He was very excited when he first saw it.
Yeah.
So this is available till August 19th. So this just went up. You've got plenty of time to order it. The VIP model for the rest of this month's cycle is Bride of Arcadia. So August 19th is both when the Shield Sister goes away and when Bride of Arcadia ceases to be the 6-month sub VIP extra model.
You're almost at the end of the window for that Bride of Arcadia's model.
Yep, so make sure you pick that up. Then for the Legend of the Five Rings, Hida Kasada is still available till August 5th. So a couple weeks left on picking him up.
Yep.
And the VIP model, that changed pretty recently, so the Legend of the Five Rings VIP model, which is Sadako, will be available for quite some time. But whenever you sign up for a 6-month sub, anytime during the cycle, you'll get the VIP model in your next ship.
Yeah, and if you're going to Gen Con and you haven't got Hida Kasada yet, don't forget, because that's right at the end of Gen Con.
Yes, yeah.
That you might be flying that day or something and not be able to put that last minute order in. So just do it now.
Right now.
I mean, wait until we're done.
Savage Mini Crate. Dark Agnes is available till August 12th, and the VIP model for this entire first cycle is, of course, going to be King Conan.
Yep.
We are getting a lot of people interested in this Savage Mini Crate. There's a ton of Robert E. Howard fans out there, so
like me.
Yeah, pick these up. They're just fun models to paint. I mean, there's no game associated with them, but like art is art. Paint things, put them on your shelf. They'll look cool.
But also, they make really good like RPG characters. Like Dark Agnes has a cape and a pistol and a sword. Could be a lot of different things, and a lot of different RPGs.
Or just like cool extra things to put on your War Machine models, like King Conan.
Just like
put him in a meat thresher.
Or he could on like a.
He's just driving the meat thresher. Like replace the sword with a giant like lever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you want to do. It's your life. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
Yeah.
There's a contest going on right now for you Monster Apocalypse fans. The Mon Poc My Store. You can go to privateerpress.com to get all the details. But basically, the next OP prize we're going to make, because for Crush Hour we do the alt sculpt buildings, is going to be an actual game store.
Yep.
So if you want your game store to have a chance to be made into a model that then people will then destroy in their games of Monster Apocalypse.
All around the world.
All around the world.
Yeah.
You've got a couple weeks left. It's mainly a social media contest where you'll be taking photos and uploading them of Mon Poc stuff going on in the store, so it's very easy to enter. All you have to do is just put a couple photos up there, but the details are on privateerpress.com. Check it out. You definitely don't want to miss out. I want to see who wins. And then last bit of news, the Riot Quest website is now live, riotquest.com. And in it, our very own Tony Konachek, who's putting on this stream for us, put out the full tutorial video, which just went live today. So if you don't want to read the rule book for some reason, and you just want to see what the game's about, you can watch the 13-minute video and check it all out. Also, if you go through the entire page, you'll see not only the core set models that are coming out, but also the entire Wave 1 set of models. Wave 2, like Wave 1's like in the first 2 months.
Yeah.
And at the very bottom right, I just want to point out, everybody, the full rule book is available for download as a PDF. So if you want to read the rules of Riot Quest and finally see what's going on, it's all available, and it's almost launch time. Riot Quest is almost here.
Yeah.
The hype is getting very, very real, and everyone who has touched that game and played it has just been having a blast with it.
Yeah. And question about the Mon Poc contest, we haven't decided what the stand-in building will be. More than likely like a downtown high-rise or something, but we'll make that call kind of based on thematically what the store's name is,
I think
what
like,
the sculpt
like
is.
say a store one and their name was Power Gaming. By the way, I hope there's a retail store out there called Power Gaming. Like if not, someone start that right now.
Yeah.
That would be a good power plant.
Yeah.
So it kind of also depends.
We're gonna stay flexible with whatever store wins that.
Hell, I might go start that store right now. We do nothing
Well,
but
we're
hard.
kind of busy at the moment.
Well, sure.
But maybe you could do it later.
So let's talk about, we're going to talk about 3 themes today. One for Convergence, Retribution, and a pretty big one for Mercenaries. We're also going to talk about some points drops occurring for Convergence in the dynamic update that goes live around the same time as Oblivion. So why don't we just get started first with Retribution. And let's talk about the Defenders of Ios remixed theme force. I'm going to pop open my Oblivion book here.
Me too.
I'm just gonna sit here and look at that screen every once in a while.
So this is the, Retribution has very clearly defined themes. You've got the Shail theme with all the battle mages. You've got your sort of Assassins Mage Hunter theme. You've got your Dawn Guard theme. And then you've got the traditional military of the Retribution, the House Guard, effectively, which is this theme. So in it, we see that Hypnos is always available now to anyone. So you don't have to just be bringing Ossian.
Yeah.
You see most of the same kind of options that you had in the original version.
Yeah.
But the requisition options are really awesome in this one. You get a free weapon crew, you can get a free command attachment, you get a free solo. Great. But you can also get 2 ghost snipers or 2 list healers. That one other smaller medium-based Retribution solo, that does mean if you choose a partisan as your Retribution Merc solo. So for example, say you choose Eris 1, 2, or 4, who's coming in Riot Quest, and you add that solo in, since she becomes a Retribution model, you can take her for free.
Yeah.
Solos, Vire Electromancers and Stormfall Archers all get Repo 3. So now those, for example, again, Eris, if you take her and add to the list, she becomes partisan, she picks up that reposition. And you get to put down the wall template.
Yeah, because you're defending your homeland kind of thing.
There is a little typo in this one. We can point out. It does say on the wall template, the template cannot be placed within 3 inches of a hill, obstacle, or obstruction.
Oh, yeah.
Hills don't exist anymore.
There's no hills.
There'll be an errata that comes out after Oblivion that kind of cleans up any little typos and stuff that happened in the book. But yeah, being able to take free heavy rifle teams is fun.
Yep.
And also just being able to play this list with a core of some infantry and then playing a little bit more jack heavy if you felt like it.
Or battle engines, things like that.
Or battle whatever you wanted to do. Again, because you're not constricted by the previous benefit point buy, I think the requisition options in Defenders, because Defenders has a lot of options. There's just a lot of stuff you can put into this theme force.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of list creativity out of Defenders because of the amount of choices available to it.
And one of the things that people will probably notice is that the advanced move benefit is gone. And one of the things we've done in Oblivion in general is remove a lot of the deployment benefits that provide additional speed and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty universal across the board with 2 exceptions. So.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have been asking about Crucible Guard updates, and way back when we kind of said Crucible Guard didn't get a lot of changes because they're one of the newer factions.
Yeah, they're real.
But one thing I did spoil for anybody asking about Crucible Guard stuff is one of the requisition options in both Crucible Guard theme forces is double transfers as a single requisition point. So you can get like a lot of transfers in there. And obviously like the Dragon's Breath rocket remained and stuff like that. But if everything goes live Friday, for a lot of people asking what about this faction, this theme, hopefully all of you will see everything.
It's real close.
Yeah, if it goes live Friday, we're talking the new rulebook's available online for free. You get to see all the new theme forces. Everything's updated in War Room. The balance update occurs. It'll all be out there. If it doesn't happen Friday, it'll happen pretty much as soon as we can make it happen before we are at Gen Con. So
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Soon. JP Great One says, will Flames of the Darkness go live with the update? Yes, it will for the post-Oblivion toggle. Once again, the reminder, a War Room will have a toggle, pre-Oblivion and post-Oblivion. This is so that events that were occurring around the release of all this weren't screwed by suddenly having to switch over to a completely new system and could run pre-Oblivion if their players wanted to and they didn't have time to prepare. Not all themes, the new themes, are in the pre-Oblivion. Specifically, Flames of the Darkness and I think Warriors of the Old Faith only exist as post-Oblivion and not pre-Oblivion. The Infernal ones, because we've already released the pre-Oblivion ones, they exist that way. So,
I also saw a couple questions that I think is probably worth addressing. We're asking about what Gen Con is going to use for the events. Travis Mark, who's running our events, will be pinning an email that will be sent out to all the attendees, letting them know exactly what format of rules we'll be using for Gen Con. So if you're going to Gen Con, just keep an eye on your email box. You'll hopefully have that soon. I'm not sure exactly what timeline on that is.
yeah, me either. So let's move on to Convergence. So it's time for some Clockwork Legions.
Clockwork Legion.
Man, Clockwork Legion's got some cool stuff here.
Excuse me.
So first off, Void Archons when they come out.
Yeah.
You're just getting those as an available option you can
Have
take.
you seen that model yet? There's the 3D prints
Yeah,
floating
the
around the
3D
building,
print,
and it's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I think all the Archons. The Midnight Archon looks ridiculous.
They're so much bigger. When you see the renders and stuff, since they're humans, I kind of always imagine them as regular human scale models.
like that big.
Like, 32 millimeter, whatever models.
Yeah.
But then you see them in real life, and they're this giant
They're mammoth.
angel that's like 3 times the size of a person. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the Thammarite one. Looks really, really sharp too.
Yep.
All of them look great, but
So for Clockwork Legions, we see that you've got a lot of the same options you normally would have. For your Merc solos, right now you've got James, but also when Widget, Tinker Extraordinaire, comes out, she works for Convergence. So that gives you another, and she has the ability to fix non-faction models with her repair ability, and she does some other stuff too. So
she hits them with a wrench.
And she hits you with a wrench. But I really like the requisition option in this one. One Convergence Warjack that costs 6 or less. That's free corollary if you want it.
Yeah.
But you can also get your galvanizers and other ones in there. Obviously, you can still take Enigma Foundries and Frustum Locuses, other small and medium-based solos, and command attachments. The Enigma Foundries stay at FA4, and all the medium-based guys get Vengeance. Now, there are some balance updates occurring to Convergence, and there's some that we are working on that are not going to be in this balance update. I want to go ahead and manage that expectation. We are currently testing some changes to the medium-based infantry in Convergence. Those tests are not complete. There's a lot of different things we're considering. We haven't reached sort of a unanimous decision of any kind.
Yeah.
So you will not see a change to, say, point values or anything else on the medium-based infantry in Convergence with this dynamic update. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. There's just a lot of stuff still happening internally, and there's more Convergence stuff kind of coming in the future, which we hinted at the keynote.
If you saw the end of that video, there is a Convergence symbol in the sky.
Yeah.
And a lot of talk about somebody helped us at the very, very end. So yeah, they're getting some more stuff in the near future.
And there's stuff we have to test with that infantry with the new stuff as well, which is one of the reasons you're not seeing them with this update. But again, don't worry, there's more updates going to be coming.
But that doesn't mean we didn't change anything in Convergence in this dynamic update.
Yeah, we changed the Colossals.
Yeah.
The point values of the Colossals. The Prime Axiom got a 1-point drop, going from 38 to 37, because the Prime Axiom is still just incredibly strong.
Yeah, auto dragging harpoons and stuff are pretty awesome.
Yeah, but the Conflux, we dropped that boy down to 33 points.
Yeah.
So he got, what, a 4-point drop, if I'm not mistaken? So, yeah, the Conflux went down to 33 points, basically becoming one of the cheapest Colossals, I think tied with what? Not the Hyperion.
The other one, yeah.
My brain just went, Helios.
Helios.
Santos.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Helios.
there's a song. I can't think of what the right word is though. Yeah.
So, the Conflux is down to 33 points. And for people asking about some of what the Conflux does in terms of like the electrical damage, you may see some new models in the future that will use that a little bit more. So,
Yeah. Well, part of the reason its cost was where it was at originally is because there was talk of throwing more electrical damage in that faction, and we always talk about production stuff shifts around, and sometimes models don't happen for various reasons.
Yep.
So when we relooked at everything, especially Colossal Points, we realized, well, until all that stuff becomes a reality, if it ever does, then his points need to be adjusted because he wasn't affecting as much of the army as was possible in one version of the future that never happened.
There's a question about CIDs and dynamic updates, so I just want to kind of reiterate this to everyone real fast. We're going to do dynamic updates like the one you're seeing for Oblivion based on our internal testing. They will be at a much slower rate than the previous CIDs that were occurring. I'm not saying like twice a year or committing to a certain amount, but we're going to do them when they're ready. And then CIDs you see in the future should only basically be on completely new things. The previous breakneck speed of CID and the subsequent dynamic updates that went with every one of them that happened was too fast, too much. And the meta was not having any time to react, and players were not having any time to sort of stretch their
breath.
Yeah, catch a breath, stretch their creativity, and naturally respond to the dominant list. It was all just sort of catching up to what we were doing.
Yeah.
So you're going to see the updates slow down a lot, and you won't see as many legacy things in CID. A lot of that will just be done through our own testing, though you'll see a few things pop up here and there when we do big new releases.
Yeah.
So, Tony, don't pop it up on the screen yet. It's time to talk about Irregulars. Okay, so
Just point at him when you wanted to see it on the screen.
let's talk about Irregulars for a second. The original version of Irregulars was a problem. So it allowed everything. It was the only theme force that allowed everything.
Yeah.
It literally defeats the concept of theme
Well,
forces,
it
basically.
was also really early in the process.
Yeah.
Before we got to Steelheads and all those other things.
Yes, and the problem is every theme force that came out, we heard it time and time again. Why would I play this when I could play Irregulars? Why would I play Talion when I could play Irregulars? Why would I play Steelheads when I could play Irregulars?
Yep.
It's like, okay, I get these benefits if I just play Pirates, but I could play Irregulars and get the Pirates and then other key solos I kind of want. And all of the non-character units, Steelheads, Pirates, Dwarves, Cephalics, they had themes that made sense for them.
Yeah.
But Irregulars, they still all fit in there. So obviously, Irregulars was causing a massive, massive design space problem and was just the go-to if you were a Merc player. And so we had to change it. When we did the Theme Force remix, we knew that Irregulars had to change. It had to be brought in line with every other Theme Force in the game and the way that every other Theme Force in the game works, and that it is a specific subset of the faction, not literally all of the faction. So let's bring up Irregulars, and the first thing you're going to notice is that it now says Mercenary Character Units, not Mercenary Units. So if you're not a character unit, with a few exceptions we'll talk about in here in a second, you can't be played in Irregulars anymore.
Yeah.
These are all your Steelheads, your Pirates, your Dwarves.
They all belong in their themes now, do
belong.
cool themes
Yeah.
now.
And that's really the theme of this is people who are hodgepodge. It's called the Irregulars because it's not all the Steelheads or all the Rulik stuff or even the Pirate stuff that kind of is a cohesive force.
It's all the weird mercenary commanders who have their own little companies who are getting together to...
It's the PRI and those kind of people.
Yeah.
Yep. So Mercenary Character Solos didn't change. That's how it's always been. And really that only cut out originally like the Gobber Tinkerer and the Ogre and Brokor.
Yeah.
Then the Steelhead non-character solos came out. Exactly what it says. But we added in the original partisan units. So you can also take your Idrian Skirmishers, your Kayazi, both Eliminators and Assassins, and you can take Precursor Knights.
Yeah. Just no Cephalics.
No Cephalics. All of the new Order of Illumination models that are coming out.
Some of them are Order of
Some of them are
Elimination models.
Those also have their own home. So they're not being added to Irregulars. And like you said, Irregulars are supposed to be like Boomhowler and Crows and like Devil Dogs and Kayazi.
Yeah.
It's the Merc team. It's the D&D Merc team.
Yeah, basically.
It's a bunch of murder hobos all thrown together to do a job. And then somebody's betraying somebody.
Yeah.
Benefit-wise, not a lot changed. You still got the Jack Marshall flank ability. You get to reroll starting roll.
You can put Ace in the army.
You get a free command attachment, and you can get free solos, right? So Irregulars now fits what it should be. It lets you play with still a very wide variety of the options available to Mercs, and a ton of the characters that are not available in the other Merc theme forces. So it definitely has a unique space within the Merc sort of pantheon in the kind of list you can build with it. But it is no longer the why would I play anything else Theme Force? Mm-hmm. So, there you go.
It's funny that we listen to those kind of comments and we make adjustments based on them.
Also, I saw a couple things pop up. Someone was asked, like, oh, well, what are the command attachments? Because there aren't any, and that exists in some themes.
No, this one has the precursor
like the
knights
one, yeah,
and the Kayazi and
the underboss,
Adrian.
yeah.
So it's
there's
not
none
for those character units, but it is for the others.
There are some themes you will see like that, though, that will mention character or command attachments that don't actually have command attachments. That's just typical future proofing that we do to make sure that if we want to add those things in the future, we just have it kind of built in.
Yep. So people were asking if there's any other changes coming to character units. Yeah, there's a few, not a ton, but for example, I'm just going to say it, crows. Crows picked up prey. Mm-hmm. So that no points changes.
I may have hinted at that in the previous article.
But we looked at what crows were doing and what they needed to be more effective at the job they wanted to perform, and so we gave them prey. Yep. Some things didn't change as much. Boom Howlers, I think, picked up Partisan Troll Blood, which is just the thing they needed to get. Yep. So some things got some changes, some didn't. I think the crow change is the biggest one, and it's one I'm really happy we were able to do, because that unit is serious business for its points value now. And then there's more things that we're still looking at changing, things that we're still testing internally, but we're making sure we're really taking our time testing these things and that they work, and that we're not going to put them out there and immediately be like, crap, right? Like, this blows the world up.
Yeah.
So, I don't think NIS Hunters received any sort of change, but that doesn't mean that they might not.
Yeah, and important, and kind of back to the managing expectations thing, is a lot of people, expect us to be going through and overhauling the points or whatever on like literally every model in the game. The overhaul to the game is the theme force change. Like, obviously there are a bunch of cool changes coming in the dynamic update, but we're not going through and just doing a broad. What we want is we want to see this change shake out. We want to see how theme forces this change to how theme forces work will be changing the game. That in itself is a huge change to the game. Then after that has sort of developed and people have had a chance to explore these changes and build some new lists and play in a bunch of tournaments and play casual games with their friends, then we can take that opportunity to come back at a later date with a more comprehensive, targeted dynamic update that we can really pick out the things that are either overperforming or underperforming and make those adjustments.
Yeah. Like Hungerford said earlier, this is not the last time we're doing a dynamic update.
Yep.
But we wanted to hit some stuff that was especially in weird spots.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a Merc player and you're feeling low, you're like, oh man, don't worry, right? Like, Mercs have had a really good time. Your Insider should be going up tomorrow.
It should be.
Which shows the new Hammer Strike theme and all the buffs that Rulik's getting. Rulik got a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Then obviously there was the recent CIDs for Steelheads and Talion. Then all of Riot Quests. I want to say 75-80% of Riot Quest models are character solos.
Well, and in the first wave,
Merc character solos.
Sir Dreyfus is the only non-Merc in those first 11 models.
Yes, that is yes.
Yeah, he's a Signarin solo, but everybody else is a Merc
Gubbin
minion.
is a Merc minion.
Yeah, some of them are Merc minions.
So if you're a Merc player, there's so much good stuff coming for you, and we do hope that everyone kind of understands the stance where we're taking on Irregulars. We tried where we could to not take anyone's list as it existed and say these models don't work for it anymore. Yeah. We understand that is what we are doing with Irregulars.
We have to do it in very limited ways to make the rest of the game's design space work.
It is like one of the last options we like to take, but Irregulars there was really no choice. Somebody's asking what Butcher 4 is, by the way. Butcher 4 is not a Merc, he's a Khador solo.
Yeah. There's a few models like that in Riot Quest, but most of them are Mercs.
And I saw a couple questions pop up. Kingmakers is not going away. I saw someone asking.
Nope.
We will confirm that Kingmakers still exists. I'm not even really sure it really saw much in the way of changes.
No. We did combine some themes in some factions that were too limited in their own into two things. Like there's a Legion theme and there was a Circle theme and those kind of things. But we left a lot of it alone.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's get to a couple more questions before we call it a day, and then we'll see what else is going on. Can Scourge of the Broken Coast take 3 units of Cephalix Overlords? They cannot. That is, they only get 1 Merc unit, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at the book, but they would not be able to.
I don't remember.
KDOR 3 themes left to spoil. I honestly don't even remember all the themes that we've spoiled at this point.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
many people
this is hopefully all coming out in like Friday. Coming out in like 2 days, hopefully.
Yes,
so.
this is our last stream before hopefully everyone sees everything.
Yeah, we don't have much to spoil, and there's not much time to spoil everything.
My insider will spoil Hammer Strike by hours tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then hopefully everything is live so that everybody going to Gen Con can pack their bags with some knowledge of what they might want to play when they get their hands on the book and stuff.
Somebody scroll past. Somebody asked if the dynamic update is happening at the same time as the theme force is going live. Yeah, that is the plan.
Yeah.
I have written the dev notes. They have been through editing, and they should be going up at the same time as the War Room.
Yeah, there was also some questions about Gen Con releases and stuff being live in War Room, and that more than likely will happen at the same time too.
Do we know what's being pre-sold at Gen Con? We haven't been able to say yet. We don't have permission to give out all that information yet.
Yeah.
That's a Swinkles thing.
Have we finally figured out what we're doing for Warbeast packs? Yes.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that at Lock and Load.
Yeah, and so originally we had told a lot of people, one of the things we were considering is what we were testing was that Warbeast packs were going to become like, you got 4 of them for 10 points or whatever, and they were going to be like Fury 1 lessers that could run or charge for free and had a bunch of similar abilities. That all actually got scrapped. And what we're doing is they're just becoming lessers now.
Yeah.
I think like the Blight Wasps cost 3 points.
They have the same hit points as the general lesser, like 12, 13.
It's like I just doted us all the other day and was looking at them. They have like the same grids as like a Harrier for the Blight Wasp. The Scarabs are like the same as the Reptile Hound.
Yeah.
They have like 2 Fury. They cost like 3 points.
They have synergies with other Blight Wasps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
they basically retained the abilities as you know them on the card. Like the Scarab, which is now like I think named the Eratus Scarab, still has the like if he's biting something, other things bite it, and it has kind of a synergy style effect on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
But many of the animi change. Somebody says, question for wording. So do partisan models count as faction models for themes? Here's how it works. If a theme calls out a model specifically in the army composition, you can always take it. However, if it doesn't call it out and it's a Merc partisan, it's a Merc until you add it to the theme force. So for example, the Crix one, that says living Crix models. Cephalix aren't Crix models, they're Merc models that are partisan Crix. So what this matters is say that you have a requisition option that says you can take a free Crix solo. And your one Merc solo you choose to take with your theme force is a Crix partisan. When you add it to the list, it is a Crix solo at that point. You could take it as a requisition option. But that doesn't mean that all partisans are automatically added to any theme force where the wording kind of works out for it. You still have to choose it. And I know there's a little bit of confusion about how that works. So just trying to clear that out to people a little bit.
Someone's asking if Legion and Steel and Armored Core were merged. No, they were not. I think the only themes that merged was 2 of the Crix ones, 1 of the Circle ones, and 1 of the... Not those. Not KDOR. One other one.
Yeah, it was Crix and Circle and Legion is what we've talked about.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there was one other
think
merge
so.
that happened, but I don't think there was.
Bruce Lee Wannabe says, so Rahara needs to be specifically added to Crix themes. Partisan casters work different. And there's rules calling out how partisan casters work. There's a specific section. It's in Prime and Primal right now. It doesn't really change in the remixed version. It was originally written for Constance. That says when you choose an army, you have to choose a faction caster, but you can begin by choosing a partisan caster and just say that they're your caster. So partisan casters have a specific call out, so you don't have to worry about it.
Chat's got my back. Legion didn't have a merge. It was Scorn who had the merge.
Yep.
Yeah, we're good.
Burke Blanco says, are Riot Quest models coming to War Room with the Oblivion update? Yes. Every Riot Quest model that's going to be pre-released at Gen Con is going to show up in the Oblivion update. So you're going to see all the core models and then anything else that is going to be there as well.
Of course, pre-sold, yeah.
And let's see if we got any others we want to get to right now. Did you see anyone you want to get to? Because
I
you've
think
been really quiet.
No, I think we're done.
All right, I'll answer Mr. Malorian's question real quick, just because I have the book here in front of me. And I'm feeling generous. Kingmaker, what was the question? Can you confirm if Kingmaker kept Feign Death? Warrior models / units in the army gain Feign Death. Yes, there you go. It's for you.
Cool. Goodbye. Thanks. We're done.
What's for lunch?
Bye, everybody. We'll see y'all next time. Some of you at Gen Con.
Yep. See you next week if you're anywhere in Indianapolis. Anywhere. Like literally anywhere.
Is that how it works?
Even if you're not near Gen Con, we'll still see you.
Okay. We're like omnipresent in Indianapolis.